So here we are inside of ACT. This is the demo database with 200 contacts. Let's go to the list view to look at impact reporting inside of ACT. First thing you want to do if you don't have the list enhanced, this is the contact list. We have our enhancement up here. Now you see the impact list view, and we have more tool sets here. We're just going to focus on the reports for the moment. If I come along and create this column set, ID status, company, contact, phone numbers. It's like you're building a report. I want to see this information in a PDF. I want to convert it out. I want to email it to somebody. I can just come into the reports menu and say, create a report. Let's call this report just list view. I'm going to say, okay. What is going to happen is Impact is going to build a report based on your interface. And here's the report. As we can see, it was built up by ID status, company, contact, emails, all the information that you had on your screen. So what you see is what you get. Now, what's nice about this report is not only is it done right here for me, but we have a simple email. I'd say preview email because it doesn't send it. But if I click on that preview email, you'll see I have Outlook here. And it says, good morning, here's your alert. And if we look at it, list view PDF. Attached to the email already. So all you have to do is send. Now, if you're sending this out on a weekly, what you can do is go to the options here and say, good morning, Bob. Here is your weekly contact report. And it'll use this information every time that it sends it. Okay, let's save and close. Well, it's nice that we can create a report literally with one button. But that report really needs conditions, filters, mechanisms like that. So say if we came along, again, we're in the list view inside of ACT. We came along and said, well, I only want the state of California. And it filtered by the state of California. Well, actually, it says Lancaster here. That's because by default, it contains. That's why the CA was found. So I want to say starts with. So there are all of my contacts matching that condition. If I go now back into that report I created with one button, and I say list view report, it's using the filter in the interface as your criteria. There it is. They report based on state equals California. So let's go a little bit further. We may want to come along and say, well, I want their ID status to be, let's just say select none, turn them all off. I want to find all my contractors and all my consultants and my competitors. I'm just hunting around here, turning a few things on. I filtered my list, and I want to send this list to the boss again. So here, just go back to Reports menu, List View, and again, it uses the filter criteria that you have inside of ACT to do that report. There it is. Let's go and preview the report. And here's your weekly report, which we changed. And let's go and look at the report that's now attached. And it is identical to not only our preview, but it's identical. Let's say close down the preview and close down this. Save changes. No. It is identical. This was the PDF that was attached in the email. It's identical to the list view. So whatever you're doing in your list view can be one buttoned report. Okay, let's try something a little more advanced. Right? That's very simple, but let's just say, select all here. And what you want to do is let's turn off this filter. Clear out that filter. So we're back to all. Well, I can come along here and say, oh, I want my opportunity status report. Okay, again, we're on the contact list. Now, what we've done here is create a layout. And inside the layout, I've added fields for opportunity name and opportunity status. And what happens here is if any of the contacts have an opportunity attached, then we see the names of it. See that? They're right there. So they may have multiples. We just find the first one and let you know. And again, we've changed the layout to show this. Well, I may create a lookup, an advanced lookup inside of ACT. You can go into lookups and go to advanced and everything else. Impact shows you those lookups here on your lookup menu. So I have a lookup called status. I'm going to turn that status on. One button, replace the lookup. There are 27 contacts that have the status of an activity attached to them. Now you can go in and change, manage your save lookup. Here's status. And I'm going to modify this. Again, this is Axe Criteria Builder. So whatever you can do in Axe Criteria Builder, we support that, of course. We now have a list view of all contacts that have an open opportunity. Again, this is the criteria that you've done inside of Act. I don't have to redo that criteria for a report. And let's set the order to the opportunity name. So we set the order to the opportunity name. So I'm going to go and create a report. Create a report. I'll call my op status report. I'll say okay. And here's my op status report. That's simple. Again, I go to options and say, here, hey Bob, here is the opportunity status report. Again, just changing that. Change it one time. I don't have to change it every time I do it. And if I go back to preview here, I just say preview the email. There it is. Here's your opportunity status report. What's really nice on top of this is, again, since we're using the Act UI, the Act interface, next Friday when you come and run this criteria, it's nice about building a report so quickly. Again, one button, build a report. But you may want to report based on other conditions, and those conditions, again, are in the Act interface. Okay, let's look at the opportunity report. Same thing. So again, we're in the opportunity section of Act. We're in the enhanced mode, and we're looking at a list of all of our opportunities. So let's just go in here, and let's just say select none of these, and I just want to say opportunities 1. So here's my opportunities 1. I could have a date range on here. I could select users, but let's just make this a little bit more complex. So we may be wanting to see by record manager, right? So we have by record manager here. And if I group by the record manager, so I'm going to go to grouping, and I'm going to say group by the record manager. Right now I have a grouping. So that might be more what you're used to in a report. So group it by stage, status, by the record manager. Now let's go in and create a report based on the list view. Okay, I'm going to go to reports. I'm going to create a report, and I'm going to say ops by user, record manager, and I will say okay. There's my report. Base exactly what's on the list view. There is my report, and I can just preview this report, send it to anybody I want at will. So I now have a one button opportunity report to send to anybody via email. Okay, thanks for watching.